right. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Democrats. First, let's give a big round of applause. I want to thank President Bill Clinton for that kind nomination and those words. President Clinton, we had 8 great years in Washington and really showed this nation what good government is all about, right? New York City Mayor de Blasio, isn't he fantastic? Let's give him a round of applause. "20 years we've been friends." We're getting old, Bill, we're getting old. But I'm so excited about what the mayor's doing in New York City. I'm excited about the fact that we have the relationship that we have, because the friendship and the relationship that we have is going to make this partnership between New York City and New York State better than ever before, and I'm excited about it. How about your nominee for Lieutenant Governor, Kathy Hochul? Isn't she great? I heard her speech. She is fired up, and so is Western New York, I can tell you that. And she does have big shoes to fill in a lot of ways. And these 4 years were extraordinary on many aspects. But one of them was the service of Bob Duffy to the state of New York, which was unbelievable. I'm running with a full, strong ticket. Attorney General Eric Schneiderman, we need him back in office. Comptroller Tom DiNapoli, we need him back in Albany. I want to thank Speaker Silver for his friendship and leadership over these past 4 years. Senator Andrea Stewart-Cousins, thank you for your leadership. We want to thank Assemblyman Keith Wright and welcome Chairman David Patterson to lead the Democratic Party. To my campaign chairs, Borough President Ruben Diaz and Assemblywoman Crystal Peoples-Stokes, thank you very much. It was great to hear our New York City Speaker, Melissa Mark Viverito. Let's give her a round of applause. We can't forget our hosts, County Executive Steve Ballone and County Chair Rich Schaefer. To my family, who you saw on the screen, Sandy, Michaela, Cara, and Mariah, thank you for being here. I have my sister and brother-in-law here, my cousins and aunts and uncles, and I have 2 other members of my family. And I would like to take a special point of privilege to recognize my father, my hero, but the greatest governor in the history of the state of New York, Mario Cuomo. And the greatest First Lady, Matilda Rafa Cuomo. And Democrats, I accept your nomination to be governor of the state of New York. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And okay. And we have a story to tell the people of this state, a story to remind the people of this state. We have to start by reminding them where we were 4 years ago, just about now, and the condition that the state was in. We have to remind them about the gridlock and the dysfunction that was Albany. How the state government had become literally a joke on late-night TV. Remember that? And the government just wasn't working. Even the state capitol itself became a metaphor for the disrepair that the state government was in. Highest taxes in the nation and very little to show for it. And there was a sense that New York was losing it, that the better days were behind. Too many young people leaving from upstate to New York, too many businesses were leaving the state. And we said, honestly, when we ran, that the state was at a crossroads and that it could go either way. And it was a tipping point. But we also said, if we come together, if we are committed to real change, if we work together, we're going to turn this state around. And 4 years later, we can leave this hall today, and we can go out there to every citizen in the state, and we can look them in the eye, and we can shake their hand and say, we did what we said we were going to do. We've turned around the state of New York. We have made progress. Thank you. New York State is on the move, the direction is up, and we are not stopping until we make the Empire State stronger and better than it has ever been before. Four years ago, we went to work, and job one was creating jobs for New Yorkers and getting the government to work again to create those jobs. And we had a different approach, and we went all across the state, and we set up regional councils, the 10 regional councils, and we brought people together in those councils, and we said, let's put the politics aside. Let's all come around the same table. Let's put the academics and let's put the business people. Let's put the elected officials all at the same table and come up with an economic plan that points the way forward, and let's invest in the economy and create those jobs. And it has worked extraordinarily well, and there is a sense of hope and optimism that you heard from Kathy all across upstate. Long Island, you feel it. New York City, you feel it. It was unprecedented what we did. And the credit goes to one man who crisscrossed this state up and down 7 days a week, and that's Lieutenant Governor Bob Duffy. And let's give him a round of applause. We said that the best long-term economic development was the best education system. And we're rebuilding the SUNY system under the SUNY 2020 program to make it better and more affordable than ever before. We've increased funding for K-12 education, and we put in an evaluation system because it's not just how much money we spend, it's what we accomplish with that money and the results we get for the money and what we're doing for students that counts. We said We said we were going to rebuild New York. We took on projects that they were afraid to touch for years, like the Tappan Zee Bridge, and we're showing them what we can do. And we're rebuilding over 10,000 miles of roads, over 1,000 bridges all across the state, better and faster than it's ever been done before. We said we would make New York safer, and we passed all crimes DNA. We passed new texting while driving laws to protect our young drivers. We said we would protect the vulnerable, and we passed the first ever Justice Center dedicated to protecting the disabled in the state of New York. Memorial Day is coming up, and we honored our veterans by passing the first ever set-aside of state contracts, 6% of state work for our disabled veterans. When Mother Nature challenged us under storms Sandy and Irene and Lee, and we faced challenges that we had never faced before, this government performed phenomenally. State government and local governments came together and literally saved people's lives. And let's thank the police and the fire and the emergency management workers for doing just that. And we told New Yorkers 4 years ago that we would stop the gridlock, that we would make the government work once again. And we walked across the aisle and we put out our hands and we said, let's stop the paralysis, let's start progress. And we just passed the 4th budget on time in a row, hadn't been done in 40 years. And I want to thank our partners in the legislature on both the Assembly and the Senate. And I want to ask Assembly Speaker Sheldon Silver to stand and Senator Andrea Stewart-Cousins to stand, and all the assemblymen and all the senators who are here, so we can give them a round of applause. Thank you. We said something else. We said that New York has a special role in the nation because we are the progressive capital in the nation. That is the New York legacy. As E.B. White wrote, and as Governor Mario Cuomo reminded us many times, New York is to the nation what the white church spire is to the village, the visible symbol of aspiration and faith, the white plume saying the way is up. That's New York's special place in this nation. And we fulfilled that role over these past 4 years. We said New York will not tolerate discrimination of anyone, anytime, anywhere, for any reason, and we passed marriage equality. We passed long overdue sensible gun control because too many innocents died. This nation in the 1949 Housing Act promised every American a safe, clean, decent, affordable place to live. That promise has not been fulfilled, but the state of New York stepped up, and we're spending $1 billion on an affordable housing plan because it's the right thing to do. We said people who work full-time should not have to choose between paying their rent and buying food, and we raised the minimum wage. We said the existing tax policy in the state was fundamentally unfair. When a person making $40,000 paid the same tax rate as a person making $40 million, we redid our tax code to now it's one of the most progressive in the United States. The more you make, the more you pay, period. And my friends, the proof is in the numbers. 400,000 new jobs, 7.4 million jobs in the state of New York, more jobs in the state of New York today than ever in the history of the state of New York, period. Our credit rating is up, our borrowing is down. We took a $10 billion deficit in 4 years, we turned it into a $2 billion surplus. Unemployment in every region is down, and unemployment in upstate New York, which has been a problem for decades, just had the largest one-year drop in unemployment in recorded history, period. And my friends, we accomplished something else over these past 4 years, because the Democratic Party has a new credibility. Remember how our opponents like to scare people and say, well, you know, if you elect a Democrat, you know what those Democrats are going to do? They're going to raise your taxes because Democrats love big government. And they're going to take your money by raising your taxes. That's what they used to say. Really? Well, it was a Democratic administration that cut middle-class taxes to the lowest level since 1953. And it was a Democratic administration that cut corporate taxes to the lowest level since 1968, manufacturing taxes the lowest level since 1917, that passed the first ever property tax cap in the state of New York, and brought you the smallest government since the 50s. Why? Why? Because the Democrats never argued for big government. We wanted good government that served people and helped people. That's what the Democratic Party's been about. The Democratic Party is about providing a government that creates jobs and advances justice, and that's what we gave the people of this state. My friends, we did what we said we were going to do. New York is on the move, and we ain't going back. But just as we say to the people of this state that we did what we said, we also have to say there is much, much more to do. And that's why we need another 4 years to do it. There's still work that is important and successes that are important to accomplish in this state. Because 60 years after Brown versus Board of Education, the inequality in our education system is still alive and well. And it is an outrageous injustice that only 15% of the African American and Latino students graduate from high school college ready. It is a social tragedy that a majority of children from wealthy families attend college, but only 10% of children of poor families attend college. We have started rebuilding this state, but we have just started rebuilding this state. We are going to take the example of the Tappan Zee Bridge that restored our confidence, and we're going to go rebuild our airports, Kennedy and LaGuardia, because we deserve the best state-of-the-art transportation system, and that ain't it. Mother Nature has taught us some lessons over the past few years, and we have learned them. We've gone through 9 federally declared disasters. just in the past 4 years. And Mother Nature has made her point, and we have heard it, and we are going to learn and adjust where we build, how we build. We're going to have the best emergency management force in the nation right here in the state of New York, but we're not going to learn that lesson twice. Upstate New York is starting to come back. There's a hope, there's an optimism that we haven't seen in decades in upstate New York. And we have a program that Kathy spoke about, Startup New York, no tax zones. Thousands of businesses have applied to come to these startup zones all across the state, but especially in upstate New York. And our job isn't done until we see those businesses in this state creating jobs, creating opportunity, raising tax revenue. And Kathy's exactly right. The other side said, well, we don't believe government should be investing in Western New York in our Buffalo Billion program. Well, I couldn't disagree more. It is an investment that will pay dividends in the future. Those are our brothers and sisters. It is a part of the state. It has been long overlooked by state government, frankly. I am proud of the investment we made in Western New York. I'm proud of the investment we made all across upstate New York. We're going to double down on our investment in upstate New York because I believe in Buffalo, and I believe in Rochester, and I believe in Syracuse, and I believe in Utica, and I believe in the North Country, and I believe in the Hudson Valley, and we're going forward together as one, and we're not going back, and we're not leaving Western New York behind. Thank you. 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 We've done a lot of work making the state economically more competitive. We brought taxes down and businesses are coming back. But we still have to do more in lowering our property taxes. This state has some of the highest property taxes in the nation. Long Island, upstate New York have been suffering for too long. Westchester County, the highest property taxes in the United States of America. That's the legacy of Westchester County. We have to tell our local officials one simple message: those property taxes have to come down. Lower my taxes, and let's make this state more competitive. We still need to do more ethics reform in Albany. We need to complete our dream of pre-K statewide, and we need to complete our social reform agenda. The state Senate so far has failed to deliver. We must pass a Women's Equality Act, public finance, and a DREAM Act, and we will. My friends, let me leave you with this. This election is about a choice, because elections are about making a choice. But this choice is really not about two people. It's not even about two parties. It's not even just about New York. It's not even just about government. This is a choice about how we see society and our vision of how we relate one to the other. And there are night and day differences between what we believe and what they believe. And that's why this election is so important. Their view is an ultra-conservative social agenda that sees society through a lens of fear and division. Our view sees society through a lens of optimism and inclusion. They see government as a vehicle for corporate opportunity. We see government as a vehicle for individual opportunity. They believe that if you grant other people's rights, it diminishes their rights. We believe when you grant other people rights, it enhances our own rights. They see new immigrants as a threat and as a lie. New immigrants as a promise and an asset. We think the sweetest success is shared success. And we think we can do so much better than we are doing now. And we can bring so many more people into the family of New York that we haven't even come close to touching the total potential of this state and this society. You think this is success? Imagine when we have all our women working and real pay equity, not earning 77 cents to a man's dollar. Imagine when we have all our immigrants fully employed. Imagine when we fully educate every child of color to be the best that they can be. Imagine what this state is going to be then. We just have a different view of the world. We believe in the concept of community. We believe that there is a cord that connects me to you, to you, to you, to you. And that cord weaves a fabric. And that is a fabric of society. And when one is raised, we are all raised. And when one is lowered, we are all lowered. And that community makes us one. And that's what's always made this state special. That's why we are the laboratory of the American experiment of democracy. That's what the Statue of Liberty is saying in our harbor. You come here and you join us. And we don't care where you come from or the color of the skin or how much money you have in your pocket. We will work with you and invest with you because we want you to do well. Because we are a family at the end of the day. And when you do well, we do well. And when you are raised, we are all raised. And that's the dream of New York. That we are one. We're upstate, we're downstate, but we are one. We are gay and we are straight, but we are one. We are black and we are white, but we are one. And in that unity is strength. And that unity made this the Empire State. And that unity will make this the Empire State again. And you ain't seen nothing yet. Give us 4 more years, and this state is going to be stronger and better and sweeter and fairer than it's ever been before. Thank you, and God bless you.